are we? We are now. We certainly are. Right, let me try and find it on here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
For anybody who's joining us and you've not seen us before, I'm Chris.
And I'm Megan.
We're just going to talk a little bit, just randomly for a few minutes to let people come on if they want to come on.
Oh, I can watch it. How do I do it with no sound? Oh, wow. That's me. Okay, so that shows. Yay! Okay.
Right. If you can, as you come on, if you could just drop us a message and say hi, that'd be great.
So if you've not seen by the title, wait, on that. That's nice. So if you've not seen the title, this week we're going to be talking a bit about building resilience and how you can do that. Just our opinion anyway. We'll give it to 2 minutes and then we'll crack on because we don't want a long intro because people come back and watch the video when they can.
Yeah. We'll just give you some updates about the service as well as we go through. And again, if you've got any questions, comments, anything you want to add, just drop them in the message box and we'll do our best to answer. Obviously, we can only do that if you're watching this as we're going through live. But if you do leave any messages later on, we do try and go back and do our best to answer. But you can just drop us a private message as well. So if we have lots of messages, sometimes they do get a little bit lost in everything that's been said.
True. Very true. Who has just joined us? I wonder if I can see on here. I thought that was going to tap up. Welcome to our new joiners. It's not coming up who it is, so just drop a hi or a comment in the box and we can say hello. Shall we start?
Yeah, just the delay on our video is going to throw me a bit if I try and watch it.
Yeah, don't watch that one. We've got it live, so we're making sure we're not missing any of the comments. I'm trying to watch it from my phone as well. So, this week we're going to be talking a bit about building resilience. And I think resilience is a word that gets thrown about a lot, but we don't really always know what it means. And our understanding, hi Andrea, yay, we've got a viewer, hi Andrea. Our understanding of it is kind of your ability to deal with the highs and lows of life. It's not about being well all the time, being a 10 out of 10, feeling happy every day. It's your ability to deal with the ups and downs of life, because we all have them. It would be nice to be up all the time, but that wouldn't be life, would it? So today, what we're going to do is just go through a few techniques, and obviously if you come to changes and you do the workshops, you're a young person, an adult, whoever, you'll know them as wellness tools really. Anything that kind of makes us feel well and keeps us okay and on track, we define as wellness tools. So that's really all we're going to be doing today. We'd love to hear some of your ideas, what you do to stay well and to build your own resilience, because I think the more resilient we are, the better able we are to manage our mental health. Do you agree?
I do.
Correct.
And again, for the last 12 months has been quite trying on a lot of people. And what new resilience methods have you learned in the last 12 months? Banana bread, I think, was one for some people. What else is there? What else have you tried?
I didn't make any banana bread, you know.
I made a couple.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
I like bananas and I like bread, so I think I might. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Welcome. So I think, just to explain, so I'm going to read from a little bit of the training that we do on our Stay Well program with our fantastic trainer, Donna Mountford. We created this program over lockdown because we realised how important it was to have that resilience for when things that are completely out of your hands, like a global pandemic, happen. We need things to keep us well, and the more we build our resilience when we are feeling well, the easier we can manage with them lows. And I think the idea we wanted to get across was you don't only think about your mental health when you're struggling. We should be thinking about it all the time. And if we build on it when we're well, that's how we build that resilience and deal with them lows a little bit better when they do inevitably come, because they do for everybody. So yeah, that was just a side thought. Has anybody else got any thoughts about what resilience is to them? If you have, leave it in the comment section below. And hopefully we're going to keep on top of all the comments this week, because I'm trying to watch from 110 places. Shall I crack on with some tools?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know where I'm going to go for this. I want this one, that's why. Ignore me a second. I don't know what I'm looking for. Will you say something entertaining, Chris?
Just while Megan's trying to find what she wants to look at, just a reminder, one method of resilience is trying to be socially included, which links us to a social event we have tomorrow evening at 6:30. It's on Zoom and it's our bingo session. It's friendly, anybody can attend. You'll make your own bingo cards in an interesting manner, and there are prizes to be won. It's a bit of fun, it lasts about an hour, and play 2 full games. So if you can join us, come along. The information's in this Facebook feed. Again, if you just drop a message to us and we can send you the full information if you want that.
Ability to shrug off stressors. Absolutely agree. And that is what resilience is, isn't it? It's about being able to deal with both the highs and the lows when they come. And arguably, I think resilience is best built when you're well. I think you might disagree, but that's okay. Another big thing about what people struggled with in lockdown was dealing with the unknown, and that can be really difficult. And I think being okay with change and the unknown is a massive part of being resilient. So, a few things we can do to help us deal with the unknown. We've got educate yourself. I think that's one of the biggest things. Get involved in workshops, classes, groups, whatever it is. Get on the internet, get reading. The more you know about yourself, the better you can manage your own feelings and regulate your emotions. Practice positivity and optimism. That can be really, really hard in a situation like a worldwide pandemic. It can be really hard to stay positive, but little ways of doing that might be positive affirmations. I don't know if anybody else does that. I've got a twin brother, going on a tangent here, and he literally was like, Megan, this stuff doesn't work. And I'm like, yes, it does. It's science. It literally does work. Getting up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and just saying a few positive things to yourself can literally transform how you feel about yourself. And it rewires your brain to think in a different way. It's literally like digging a little path. We're either digging away at that negativity path or we're digging away at the positive one. And eventually, whichever one we give more work is where the water is going to naturally flow. And if I'm making no sense to you, welcome to all the kids I have subjected to my picture thinking. So there we go. I think in pictures.
Yeah, linking it back to some of the more changes core stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's the think link, isn't it? You don't know what a think link is. It's thoughts, feelings, behaviours. How you think can affect how you feel, which affects how you behave, and it's a continuous circle. So he's trying to put something virtuous in, some positive behaviours will make you think better, will make you feel better. If you feel rubbish and bad all the time, you will sort of act to that, you'll behave like that. So then positivity and healthy thinking, healthy feelings, healthy behaviour all interlink. So it's not necessarily easy to do. It does take a lot of practice and a lot of time. It's not something that will just come like that. You need to work at it, but the benefits are outstanding.
Exactly, it'll transform your life, and it took you a long time to get to where you are now. If that's not a good place to them negative thought patterns, it's going to take you a long time to kind of rewire them, but it's always worth it. It's hard work being sad and it's hard work being happy. I know which one I'd prefer. We've got a few comments. I do that. I've looked into spirituality. I used to go to the changes. I used to do the knitting. Oh, yay. Yeah, I think there can be quite a fine line between how we think and transform our lives, and kind of thoughts become things. And I try not put my opinion too much onto the changes work, but the thoughts becoming things again is backed up by all of our changes work and all the kind of science and psychology, but it's also backed up in the spirituality way of thoughts do become reality. And just really check what you're thinking about, what you're manifesting to yourself. This might make no sense to some people, but it makes sense to me. I do go off on one. Mindfulness, that's another big one we've got on building resilience and dealing with the unknown. Obviously, we have Kerry Wheat with us doing lots of wonderful mindfulness stuff and has done such good work over the years. And with mindfulness, a lot of it is about sitting with discomfort, sitting with the unknown. And I think that can really help us be present and bring us to a place of acceptance for sure. So if mindfulness is not something you've ever considered, maybe have a look at it. We have started putting some of Kerry's work onto our YouTube channel, which is Changes Health and Wellbeing. If you just put that into YouTube, we should come up, and we're going to be posting new videos each week of just some of the work that Kerry does. But obviously, if you can get into like a program, it's nice to be in the room and experience that for sure. You're reading the comments. Yeah, it makes total sense. You're doing great. Thank you. I'm glad I make sense to someone. I know I talk in pictures sometimes. And because I like to think about things from 100 different perspectives, sometimes Chris will say one thing and I'll go, ooh, let me add in this thought and this thought and this perspective, and it can get too much, so my bad. You recently have tried mindfulness, haven't you, Chris?
I did at the beginning of the year. I think it just became lockdown and everything was becoming a bit too much with the lockdown and the winter blues. And yeah, it was a way to help me refocus a bit at the time. And I still use some of the mindful practices in an evening, especially if I'm trying to go to sleep. It just again helps to stop my mind from racing, which is one thing I do struggle with. Megan says she had 1,000 talks with 1,000 pictures. I have 1,000 things going through my mind quite regularly, and it's hard to stop them. So if you look at mindfulness again, it's trying to refocus and focus on one thing. It's just quite helpful at times.
And obviously, I think mindfulness is magic. I love all that stuff with meditation, and I am quite spiritual. But an honest opinion from someone who, tell me if I'm wrong, isn't that into meditation and mindfulness, how did you find it? Helped or didn't help at all?
No, it did help. I did have reservations about whether it would help or not. There's parts of it I do struggle with. It does require an immense amount of imagination and just going with it. And I'm not there yet to completely let myself go with it. But it has been useful to the extent that I can. But like I said, it comes with everything else. It's time and practice. It's not something. It was a 3-week program I did. I didn't expect to master it by the end of 3 weeks. Some people have been doing it for years. It's time.
But just to butt heads with Chris on that point, there's no mastering mindfulness or meditation. There's no right or wrong way to do it. There isn't people who do it good and people who do it bad. It's your practice, and it should never be the same, and it will never feel the same. Sometimes you can have a really good meditation or practice and think, I want to recreate that tomorrow. That's not what we do. We're forgetting the whole point of flow if we try and recreate things or be as good as someone else at it. There's no good or bad. We just practice for ourselves. Just saying. Andrew has put a comment. I found it works to get out of autopilot mode. It gets my thoughts out of my head and onto my surroundings instead. Oh, I love that. I like that image of getting them out of your head and into surroundings. That is just prompted me for my next point of a really good tool for building resilience, I think. Journaling. What do we all think about journaling? For me, this is a massive, massive wellness tool. It's one of my go-tos, but funny enough, it's if I'm really feeling anxious or low, or just overwhelmed with life, it's the first thing I avoid, and because I know it's what I need. I need to get them thoughts out of my head and onto the paper. Like Andrea said, mindfulness for her is getting them out of the head into the surroundings. For me, journaling takes that messiness out of there and just puts a little bit of it on the paper. And I feel like if it's on paper, I can stop thinking about it for a minute. So journaling is a really, really good tool. And using journaling in different ways. So there's loads of different ways we can journal. We can do what I call morning pages, which is where you wake up and you literally just put pen to paper and you write. It's like a conscious stream of words. Just literally write. Don't think about what you're writing. Keep writing. Give yourself, say, I'm going to do 4 pages and I'll stop. And it is incredible what will sneak out of your subconscious onto the page. That can be really, really helpful. You can keep it as a diary. So sometimes I can get a little bit scared that I'm going to forget things in my life. It's really random fear that I've got. It's not random actually. I've got a terrible memory. And I'm always like, I don't want to forget everything. So I have to get things down and then I feel like I'm a little bit calmer. So you can just do diary entries. Or another really useful way of using journaling is to reflect. I don't think we should live in the past. I think that can be really unhelpful, but definitely using it as a tool to just go, right, what has this month done for me? How have I felt this month? If you've not felt great, what have I done differently? Or what's lacking? What have I neglected? Have I neglected the social side of my life? Have I neglected my self-care, my me time, my learning, whatever it is that keeps you well? I always, in my head then I was going to go off on another tangent. I can't help it, but I think it's so important to get to know ourselves. Without ranting, we spend so much time learning about other things, the world around us, our job, whatever it is we are into, and we really, really neglect thinking about ourselves. What makes me happy? How much sleep am I good on? What food makes me feel good? What are the patterns when I'm not feeling great? Who am I around when I feel good? Who am I around when I'm not? Like, make the changes. Like, changes. No, but really, you really need to dedicate some time into yourselves and get to know yourselves, especially if you're not feeling too great at the minute.
Yeah, and some of the points that Megan's been touching on, looking at how am I doing with my social side, how am I doing with this side, that side. If you come to any of our peer support groups or some of the workshops, we have, like you see that, a wellness action plan that you can get. And that helps you break down those little individual points from like how you look at your family and friends, your housing, your community, your job, employment, life skills, helpful thinking, all different aspects of your life, and it helps you to break down, and you can concentrate on certain areas. You can help to score where you see yourself at a particular time and sort of look at where you may need to focus on, where you can sort of put some more energies to try and improve, rather than just going with the flow from time to time.
Yeah, we can be really ignorant to where we're lacking, can't we, and where things are going wrong. And I think that is another really special thing about changes and the work we do here. It's a real holistic approach. We're not trying to improve one aspect of your life. It's like, okay, this is all part of you. What needs some work? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Breath might sound like an obvious one. Breathe. If you're watching now and you haven't taken a deep breath today, which you probably haven't, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, take a deep breath, get all the air in, fill your body, and then expel it all, get it all out. It is amazing how long we can go without taking a real deep breath and relaxing our bodies. Take time throughout your day. When you hear my annoying little voice in your head going, take a breath, just do it. Take a deep breath. Breathe in, release everything. It is, again, we're not going to go off on one, but there's so much science behind it. I know we all breathe every day, but we don't all breathe properly, and it's really healing in a lot of ways, physically and mentally. So just breathe. Sounds like a silly point, but breathe. Practice healthy behaviours that bring you calm. So, give me a healthy behaviour that brings you calm, Chris.
Go out walking with the dog.
Yeah.
Except for when he sees another dog. It becomes a bit stressful at that time. Generally walking the dog.
Generally walking. Oh, I've dropped my thing. Generally walking, BB. Yeah. We do need to get BB on a live one day. We're going to have to. So one of them healthy behaviours for me is going to the gym. That brings me calm. Sometimes I don't feel like it does when I don't want to get up and go and I'm screaming to myself in the car on the way. But once I'm there and I'm doing it, that brings me calm. Has anyone else got any healthy behaviours that bring them calm? Let's see if we get any in the comments. Also, yoga for me. I know that's kind of supposed to bring you calm. I want to think of an unconventional one that brings writing lists. Yes, I have to keep an eye on it that I don't get obsessive. But writing lists or journaling, getting some of this messiness out of there and on the paper just brings me some calm. Whether that's healthy, we'll see. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I can get a bit obsessive. Singing. Oh, that's definitely one for me as well. Yeah, it is feel good. And again, not to go on the spiritual side of it, you raise your vibration when you sing. It is literally proven to make us feel better. So yeah, get the radio on, have a sing, have a dance around. It's little things like this. They might sound so insignificant and so small, but when we incrementally do these things throughout our day, it transforms how we feel, which inevitably is going to transform our lives. You just got to take these small snippets throughout the day for you. Just care about you enough to give yourself 5 minutes 3 times a day, which sounds like nothing at all, but most of us don't do it ever. It doesn't take like hours of yoga or a peer support every day or therapy every other day to be well. It takes these small things, these small changes, and a peer support.
Yeah.
Have we got any more that make us feel well?
I mean, another one for me is reading when I can. Like I touched on in a previous conversation, I think at the beginning of the year, my concentration levels were really struggling. I was starting to get really concerned, but I managed to get away for a bit and I was able to sit down and clear my head and just concentrate on a book. And I enjoyed that and it was really helpful and healthy for me. So again, reading is another one.
We had a chat about that, didn't we, in... Was it Claudia's interview?
I think so.
It was, yeah, on about how it's a real indicator for all of us. So some of you might relate as well that when we can't read, you know, when you keep reading the same. Yes, Andrea. Yes, that is a healthy behaviour for sure. But yeah, when you can't take the page and when you can't read, it's a real good indicator of when we're not mentally as resilient as we want to be. Remembering our step number, and I hope I'm not going to get this wrong, 9. Feelings aren't always facts. Is it 9? Have I got it right?
I can't remember.
I hope so. So yeah, that's a real grounding. Yeah. Yes, I got it right. A real grounding thought for me when I'm feeling out of control, which is usually when I feel like we get kind of panic attacks. Real anxiety is when we feel that everything is without our reach and out of our control. That's a real grounding thought for me, remembering step number 9, feelings aren't always facts. And interrogating yourself, not too much, let's not be harsh on ourselves, but going, Megan, I know you're thinking that, but is that true? I have a little like 2 people in my head going on, one going, it's not true, and the other going, yes, it is, you should worry about this. So yeah, just at least having that conversation in your head, is this true or is it a feeling? I think that's always a great one for when we're feeling out of control or struggling with the unknown. And then my last point here, interesting, I don't know why I put this. Use your imagination to create. Excessive worry is a waste of imagination. I get why I did that. Imagination is a blessing for everyone. I am a creative anyway, so I live in pictures, and a lot of people say I live with my head in the clouds, but it's nice up there, so why not? Don't waste that energy, don't waste that imagination on worrying. All you're doing is creating the worst case scenarios in your head over and over again, and more than likely, it's not even going to happen. It's never going to be the worst case scenario. And if it is, guess what? You'll still be okay. Every time. So yeah, don't waste it. When you worry and create these worst case scenarios in your head, you're just putting yourself through it way more times than you need to. If it is going to be the worst case scenario, just deal with it once. Just put yourself through it once, not 100 times before as well. It's just, ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, I'm going to switch my slide and Chris is going to say something interesting.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Meg mentioned peer support groups. Just let you know, we have another adult peer support group starting at the end of the month, face to face. That's going to be in Blurton for anybody in that side of the city. We are gradually trying to open up more face to face meetings as the weeks and the months roll on. Just keep an eye on our Facebook feed and on our website, changes.org.uk, for all the updates as they come. So just a quick update there. I'll give you another one in a little bit when Megan tries to find another slide.
So, a huge part of being resilient, and you'll see us talking about this a little bit in our upcoming YouTube interview with wellness coach Steph, is that mind-body connection, which we can get from, say, the mindfulness, the meditation, but a huge part of it is both looking after your mind and body. Again, controversial opinion, you might not agree. I don't think you can have a healthy body without a healthy mind, and you can't have a healthy mind without a healthy body. What do you think?
It's all connected.
It's all connected. And I say that, and I regularly have quavers for breakfast, but we'll not talk about me. You've got to look after your bodies, and this is a huge, huge part of being resilient. Resilience is a holistic thing, like how we approach our work here at Changes. You can't just focus on one thing. We're one big vibration. We're one human being, and
you have to take the holistic approach, don't you? You have to look at everything, look at the whole.
Yeah, your social, everything. So just touching on a few things we can do for our physical health to then obviously in turn help our mental health. The big one, move your body, no, we're not going to do that. Move your body, whatever you enjoy doing, if that's walking BB, taking your dog for a walk, if that's swimming, just whacking your music on in your living room and having a little dance around. I mean, that's just good for the soul anyway. Just put the radio on, have a little boogie. It can be anything. If that is like going to the gym or doing classes, sports, it doesn't have to be. Exercise shouldn't be a punishment for your body. It should be a celebration of your body, and you're moving it because you feel good when you do it and you feel good after. So do something you enjoy. That is the biggest thing. And always, if you are new to exercise and you've been quite sedentary, is that the word?
Yeah.
That didn't sound like a word in my head then. Lately, or you've got in a bit of a funk through lockdown, start small, don't overwhelm yourself. I'll do this, I'll be dead lazy for ages, and then go for a run until I nearly die, and then I'm like, I hate it, never doing it again. And it's because I've tortured myself, whereas the smarter approach would probably be go for a walk, do something I enjoy, do a yoga class, get YouTube on and dance, whatever makes you happy.
And again, exercise doesn't need to be formal. You can have informal exercise, hoovering up, doing the garden. It's still exercising, you're still moving. So again, you might be exercising and not fully realising it, but you are still exercising. It is important just to...
Are you kidding me? I class hoovering as my cardio for the day. If I've hoovered, I'm not doing cardio at the gym. No way. It's well hard work. Do you know how heavy Henry is? I've not even got a Henry, I've got a Hetty, the pink one. Is it Hetty? Henrietta,
I think. Yeah.
Henrietta. She's very heavy, but that is an actual workout. So yeah, the obvious, move your body. And then maybe the less obvious, what we put into our bodies. Watch what you're eating. Does it make you feel good? Like, we all have different kinds of diets, and I'm not going to give my opinion on what is best, because some of us are vegan, vegetarian, meat-free, gluten-free, whatever suits your body, but do exactly that. Find what suits your body. Notice when you're eating something, how do I feel after? Do I feel nourished? Do I feel ready for the day? Or do I feel like I need a nap? Am I bloated? Do I feel unwell? Am I irritable now I've eaten loads of sugar? Again, not putting my opinions on you. See how you feel after eating certain things can make a massive, massive change to your life. Huge. Just take an interest in you. Like, you have got to live in you forever. Just be interested. It's amazing how many of us aren't. We just sleepwalk through life and put our interest in, like, again, I'm not going to go off on a rant, but we put our interest in, like, I don't know, someone else's business, our job, other people, our kids, our friends, anything that isn't actually having to look at ourselves and go, I need to make changes. I need to take an interest in me. So yeah, food, drinking enough water. I 100% get 50% more irritable. That was a lot of percentages. When I don't drink enough water, and that often happens. I never drink enough water. Just add more water into your day. If you think you're drinking enough, drink a little bit more. Another one with our physical and mental wellness, sleep hygiene. What do I mean by sleep hygiene? I mean just sleeping well. If sleep is something that you are struggling with in your lives, there are a few things you can do to potentially help that. It depends obviously what you're struggling with. Some of us struggle to get to sleep, some of us struggle to stay asleep. Check your environment, go through your senses. Sounds simple. Light. Have you got blackout curtains? Is it nice and dark? Is it calming? Is there like telly lights or bright lights keeping you awake? Senses, nice fresh bedding or a candle on or a diffuser can really, really help us get to sleep. Taste, what's my point on that one? Don't eat loads before bed. I know a full stomach can sometimes make us sleepy, but your body isn't then fully shutting down. It's still metabolizing your food and you don't get that quality rest and you're going to feel tired in the morning. Hydration is a big one on sleep hygiene as well. I know if I've not drank enough water the day before, the next day it is so much harder to get out of bed, like this morning when I was sleeping through my alarm. Yeah, being hydrated can help us wake up in the morning. And arguably, again, contradict myself. In the summer, I think it's nice to sleep with the curtains open. If you're someone who struggles to wake up, going to sleep and waking up with the sunlight can help you feel much more refreshed. If, say, you struggle with depression, low mood, and you really struggle to get out of bed in the morning, a bit of natural sunlight can give you that 2% push that you need to just roll out of bed. What are the other senses? Just being comfy when you go to bed. Wash your face. If you've got long hair, tie your hair back. Comfy pajamas. Just all these tiny little things can add to a really good night's sleep. And we all know sleep is so, so important for both our physical and mental health. What else? Don't watch the clock. That's the worst thing we can do if you're struggling to get to sleep. And I'm sure when we lie down at night, all our worries in our body just run to our head because we're lying down. That's my theory. But if that is you and your head hits the pillow and all your worries flood in, try not scrolling through Instagram, being on your phone. All that blue light is going to keep you up as well. Again, I think I talked about this on our last live, but blue light glasses, if you are someone that has to kind of be glued to your emails till the moment you go to sleep, which is nobody, but if that is you, some blue light glasses might help that getting to sleep. If you are someone that exercises a lot but struggles with sleep, so someone maybe with quite high energy, try and exercise in the morning. If you're exercising after work, after school, in the evening, that can really affect how well we can get to sleep. Limit screens in the bedroom. Again, great for yourself if you've got kids. Take the digital stuff out of the bedroom. It can really, really help improve sleep, which has a knock-on effect on everything. Caffeine, cut out the caffeine. Try not to have caffeine after about 2 p.m. Sounds obvious, but some of us still do it. And if you want that warm drink at night, which I think can be really comforting sometimes, get decaf or, oh my God, caffeine free though, because I didn't know decaf still has caffeine in.
Yeah.
I was mind blown. Was it you who told me that? Who told
Possibly.
me that?
I told your mum anyway. So
I couldn't believe it. And I'm there having my decaf at night thinking, this is going to send me to sleep. It's actually got caffeine in it. It's not caffeine free. Scandal. Cheated. But chamomile tea is really nice before bed, I think. A sleep diary. If sleep is a huge problem in your life, I know we're going off on one on sleep, sorry, it's important. Try writing your thoughts down before bed. Sometimes that can trigger people and kind of get the thoughts flowing faster and more often. But for a lot of people and myself, if I get it out on the paper, my mind just eases a little bit and it feels like I've physically plucked some of the thoughts out, put them on the paper, and then I can sleep a little bit easier. So that might help. And then just develop a good routine. We are creatures of habit. I like to say I'm spontaneous, but oh God, I love my habits really. Doing similar things morning and night, especially at night time, can give your body physical cues. So if your body knows you have a bath an hour before bed, again, your body gets into a routine, not to go on another tangent, but our circadian rhythm, it gets cues, and then we start producing that melatonin. It literally, again, is science. If we do the same things before bed, our body knows, okay, this is bedtime, we can start producing that melatonin, we get into bed and we're sleepy and drowsy and ready to go to sleep. So yeah, just even if it's just a few things you do, like you read half an hour before you sleep, just some physical cues so your body can go, okay, it's bedtime. Let's start producing that melatonin. Sleepy time. NJ, the blue light glasses are a great shout. It's made all the difference for eye strain as well as my sleep. Yeah, I genuinely think they work. They're one of them things, when I first saw them, I was like, oh, this is a scam, but I'll try it anyway. And yeah, I did actually find they really help. My eyes didn't feel as tired. And to be honest, I don't struggle with my sleep anyway. I could lie on a supermarket floor and fall asleep. I struggle with getting up. Yeah. Have we got any other kind of tips on sleep, or anyone that's struggling with anything specific?
I'll just touch back on what you were saying about the curtains in the morning in the summer. I've tried it for the first time ever this year, trying to wake up with the sunlight, and it has been helpful. You don't feel quite as, still hard to get up some mornings, but you don't feel as groggy by just suddenly at 8 o'clock your alarm going off. You are sort of brought out of your sleep naturally. I think it's helpful, just that route. And again, I touched on earlier on about using mindfulness practices. I know their intention isn't necessarily to help you sleep, but they have helped me sleep, because again, playing that half an hour, I sometimes ask Alexa to play me a mindfulness practice. I don't have to have my phone or anything. And 18-minute mindfulness, it helps to just stop the thoughts running through my head. You just look on one thing, and more often than not, I'm asleep within 10 minutes. And sometimes it can take me hours to go to sleep before this. So it's been very helpful.
Yay to mindfulness. That makes me so happy to hear you say that. If you want to be, like me as well, productive while you sleep, you can get mindfulness videos on YouTube that can be like 8 hours long. And basically, all they do is say positive things to yourself while you sleep. Your subconscious takes this on. You wake up feeling better. And again, it's about rewiring what's going on underneath. And like Chris says, I'm asleep in a few minutes. Once that voice comes on and them sounds of the ocean or whatever it is, I'm like, gone. But it still plays for like 8 hours while you sleep. And it's just, if you sleep when you're dead and all that, I think it's just good.
Yeah. I mean, Lisa's mentioned that she can never stay asleep, always awake any time between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. That happens to me sometimes as well. Have you been able to identify what causes that? Any triggers? Might be some noises or something in the street or close by where you live that may spring you awake, and it's hard to get back after.
So that was another point. I didn't go through all the senses. Sound is a huge one. And if you do struggle with sleep and waking up, again, if it's the same time every night, you've probably created a habit and told yourself that it's going to happen. And your brain knows, like, if I say to myself, I've got to be up at 6, I'll wake up. And if I know I haven't got to, like today, I'll just sleep through my alarm. So your brain does know. So try and stop telling yourself that story as well. So some affirmations before bed, like, again, it sounds so silly to just say words, but it helps. Like, I am going to sleep through the night. I am going to sleep for 8 hours. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. or whatever time you want to wake up can really help. Just get it in your subconscious. We can be quite simple creatures sometimes. If we tell our brain something, it just start to believe it. Whatever we repeat becomes a belief. But on the noise thing, white noise can really help with sleep disruption. So a fan or sounds of the ocean, just any noises that are continuous noise can give you that consistency through the night. And then if you do live on a noisy road or kids wake you up, I mean, if your kids wake you up, you should probably wake up. That's a stupid comment. If it is noises waking you up, getting that white noise over the top is actually going to help you sleep rather than disturb your sleep. So yeah. My mum sleeps with a well loud fan, and I always think, oh, that's awful, but you can't wake her up. I'm dead till the morning.
Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine. Welcome. Yeah, I think white noise is a good one.
Yeah, and again, you can get apps or ask Alexa just to play you some white noise, and if you've got an Alexa or anything similar, just play just a constant noise for you.
That's what I was going to say.
It doesn't have to be ocean sounds or stuff, which makes me want to get up, go to the loo.
I love it. I love it. And if it's raining really hard, it's so nice. The iPhones, if you've got an iPhone, their bedtime app does try and wake you up while you are in, is it REM sleep? I don't know, the lighter sleep. So you'll give it like a time bracket and it will, and there's a few apps that do that as well that you can download, and it'll try and monitor when you're moving more and less likely to be in a deep sleep. So wakes you up from a light sleep, and that honestly is a game changer. Sometimes if I wake up from a deep sleep with that abusive alarm sound, I literally feel like I've been hit by a bus. And with them apps or the iPhone version of doing it, waking up from a lighter sleep, I can't tell you how different you feel. So if you've not tried that, give that a go. Oh, okay, not to go on another tangent about the circadian rhythm, but avoid lie-ins on the weekend. A common mistake so many of us make is try to catch up on sleep on the weekend, and you are literally just causing yourself so much more damage. Keep the same sleep routine that you have in the week and on the weekend. So what we do when we sleep them extra 2 hours or an extra 3 hours on the weekend, we just make Monday morning disgusting. It just knocks our rhythm off, and I promise you, you will feel better even if you're only consistently having 6 hours of sleep a night in the week. If you keep that same time frame, going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time on the weekend, you will feel better on Monday morning. We don't feel better trying to catch up on sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, sort your lifestyle out and make sure we can get them 8 hours in, because you're aging yourself, honeys. Don't do that to yourself. Get your 8 hours. But yeah, don't change your routine on the weekend. It might feel gross getting up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning, but your body will thank you and it will just feel nicer. Instead, what we all do is try and catch up on the sleep on the weekend and sleep till midday, if you may, on a Sunday, and then Monday is just horrendous, and then we feel shocking and start the cycle again next week. Don't do that to yourself. Keep the same routine. You'll feel 100 times better. Francis, I find that I wake up consistently at the same time each morning between 6 and 8 a.m. and couldn't ever get to sleep no matter how hard I try. What would be best for me to get up then? Yeah, get up.
Yeah, as hard and painful as it might feel, it'll get you into a routine, and it might feel hard to start off with, but eventually, you'll get into a routine and you'll feel better. It might take a few days, it might take a few weeks, but in the long run, you'll feel better for it.
Yeah, no one's ever going to feel sleep deprived getting up at that nice time of the day. If you're not getting enough sleep, try and get to bed earlier to get them hours in. But that's a lovely time of the day to wake up. Even if it doesn't feel it sometimes, once you get into the routine, it'll just become normal. But hopefully you are getting to bed at a nice time to get your 8 hours in, or your 9 if you may, 10 most of the time. How many hours is good for you?
8ish, 9, 8 probably.
I'm weird, I like 7 or 9. Yeah, I haven't decided which one's better for me. Look at me telling you all to get to know yourselves. I know it's 7 or 9 though. I always feel 8 is always like, oh, I don't know why. It's a weird one, isn't it? What other building was it? What have we not talked about? I mean, we've talked about a lot, really, haven't we? The biggest thing is spotting kind of the low mood, the low self-esteem, the bad habits, unhealthy routines, whatever it is. A lot of it is just implementing tiny, tiny changes every day until they become normal, until they become habit. It's the small things that make the biggest differences, I think.
Yeah, and it's not been. Don't be afraid to change something as well. If you've done something for years and years and years, and suddenly it's not working for whatever reason, find something different. You're not the same person you were 20 years ago. So something that brought you joy and happiness 20 years ago isn't necessarily going to be the same now.
No, and you're not hold hostage to your past. Just because you were one person at one point and people know you to be a certain person, you don't owe anyone that version of you. You can be a different person every day if you want to be. Arguably, I think we should be. I think we should be growing and evolving every day. And each new version of you will require new wellness tools, new support, new everything. So just keep shifting and moving. We're supposed to be in flow all the time. We're not fixed humans, although we do like habits. Good routines are good. But then our routines should evolve. Sometimes I have a solid morning routine and it stops working for me and I have to switch things up. Do you have a morning routine? Get out of bed if you can.
Get out of bed. I try to about 4 times a week. I'll try and get up, have a bite to eat, and do 30-40 minutes on my treadmill. Other times it is literally sometimes get up and then walk into work.
Yeah.
It depends on the day.
And when do you feel better?
Routines. To be honest, if I've been struggling to get up and do the treadmill, I'll feel better once I've done that one because there's a bit of a sense of achievement involved in there as well. And particularly if I really didn't want to do it, which is again more often.
I was going to say, yeah, gross. What else have we not covered? I think we've gone through quite a lot today. I hope some of the points have been helpful. Has anything stood out for anyone? Has anyone found anything particularly helpful? Any of the tools, any of the advice? Have you got any of your own advice for anyone? How do you build resilience? How do you stay well? And just remembering that we don't have to be unwell, in inverted commas, to then think about building resilience. It's best built when we're feeling great. And sometimes we can not think about our mental health and our wellness when we're feeling great. And that's when we need to, because we need to recognize, what am I doing now that makes me feel good? What routine or what habits are in my life that are making me feel good right now? Because when we get to that low place, we just forget. We don't know what makes us feel good. We just know we don't feel good and we don't know what to do to feel better. So yeah, build that resilience always.
Yeah, I mean, Francis has said that, following on from the last statements, is she knows 6 to 8 o'clock is a good time. She's a night owl and fine, I'm up late and can't sleep before about midnight, 1 a.m. I'll try some suggestions. She's good. I like the idea of going through senses and implanting different changes for each of those, see how it affects your sleep routine. I used to be a night owl. I rarely went to bed before 1 o'clock. I'm in bed normally about 9 now and read a bit. And it's about trying to put some routine into place. Again, sometimes if you're trying to fight and if you're awake between 6 and 8 and you're continuing to try and sleep, yeah, your brain's still resting, your body's resting, and you might drowse even though you don't realise you are sleeping. So again, that can have an impact later on, and it could be one of the reasons why you are struggling to go to sleep at night. Again, it's about looking at routines. Again, over time, you can change how you sleep pattern and how you do sleep.
Yeah, we're not fixed. We're not victim to our bodies. Our bodies do listen to us. We've just got to give it consistency and time and routine. It will listen to you eventually. If you want a 10 a.m. bedtime, at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. bedtime, 9 p.m., whenever you want, if you give it consistency and time, it will listen. Just implement some changes, for sure. We can feel very victim to ourselves sometimes, can't we? Our minds, our bodies, the things that bother us, and we're not. We are in control, and just remembering that sometimes can be enough. And I know we can feel out of control. There's things I feel out of control with, but you do just have to kick yourself up the bum sometimes and go, no, I am the creator of me. I can control it. It might be hard work. It might take time, which most things really do take time. But these bad habits took time as well. You deserve to give yourself the chance of the calmness, the peace, the happiness that takes time too, I think. Have you got any other good tips flying about for building resilience? Gonna give it a minute, see if anyone's got anything they want to say. Or any questions about the workshops we've mentioned, or the work we do at Changes, or the peer supports, the workshops. We have training stuff. We do everything, literally anything and everything. You can always find it on our Facebook, on our website, obviously on our YouTube channel. We've got the mindfulness stuff. We've got a 30-minute body scan there at the minute. So if you have listened to this and thought, mindfulness might work for me, go and give that a go. Just whack it on before you go to sleep, or just get comfy. You don't have to be in like lotus position, like a floating little Buddha. We don't have to do that. You can just be in bed, get comfy, whack it on. Don't give yourself any pressure. Just listen, see how you find it. I do a reframe for resilience. Ooh, what do you mean by that, Andrea? Do you know? No, I don't. Tell us what you mean, Andrea. And again, all the things we talk about on these lives, I feel like we're repeating ourselves because it's all the same stuff. It's just look after you, get some habits in. Basically, I say, will this thing be an issue? In 5 years' time. Yeah, so just giving yourself that moment if you're feeling overwhelmed or worried about something or out of control, trying to give yourself perspective, zooming out. Am I gonna be bothered about this in 5 years' time? If I'm not, don't spend 5 minutes worrying about it. It's called reframing the situation. I bet you can Google that as well. Yeah. There's loads of techniques, and hopefully we're going to go through it's learned it at NHS resilience training. Yeah, so you definitely will be able to Google that. So if you're interested in that, check it out on Google. Wow, that was a shocking accent. But we are going to go through techniques every week. We're going to be here every week, me and Chris, just rambling away. And like I say, we will repeat ourselves a lot because it's the same stuff. Just look after you. What are you going to say, Chris? Felt you feeling like you're going to say something there.
No, not yet.
Stay calm and consistent. That's one of the biggest points. True that. Can you find the Think link on our website?
Not on the website, no.
Well, that's that then. I'm not going to go off on that tangent.
No, it's something we can talk about next week.
Yeah, we might go through the Think link next week and some more healthy behaviours, unhelpful and helpful behaviours. That might be helpful. Wow. That was a lot, wasn't it? Has anyone else got anything they want to share before we go through some of upcoming events and programmes and groups this week? I hope some of it's been helpful. We aim for these to be 30 minutes and we're on 53 minutes. I'm so sorry, that's 100% my fault. Francis, I've not seen you before and this is my first time watching a live feed with you, but I find both really easy to listen to and brilliant advice. Let me press see more. Wow, my ego's getting a nice stroke here. I would find self-confidence and self-esteem workshops really helpful. How to not allow yourself to be wobbled by other people's opinions and views, which may, I'm hovering over that, destabilise what you want to achieve. Do you know what? Outside opinions and just outside everything, outside of our little bubble, can really rock us sometimes. I know it can. But the more we work on building our own resilience, the less bothered we become by other people's opinions. When you've got a strong sense of self and you know who you are and you really, really get to the core of loving yourself and accepting yourself, it's that acceptance, not even necessarily loving yourself, it's that absolute self-acceptance. Them opinions become so irrelevant. I think we get wrapped up in other people's opinions when we're not sure about ourselves. it's the same, isn't it? Like how we talk about other people is a reflection of us. Everyone's so wrapped up in themselves. No one's even like that interested, are they? Everyone's very self-centered, really. So it's just about working on your opinion on you, and then them other opinions will become so irrelevant. But I do understand that it can be really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, and if you check out our website and look at some of the workshops that we do, a few often do cover self-confidence and self-esteem. So it might be worth you having a look at what we've got on there and try and book yourself on. I can drop the link in the comments a little bit later on as well.
And obviously, I don't know what you do for a living or how old you are or anything like that, but we do have training courses as well, lots of courses where you can kind of learn to support young people in your lives, but obviously you learn it all for yourself as well. We've got lots of opportunities. Just check out everything we do. It's all about learning, and that was the first point we made on this live. Educate yourselves, and that just means educate yourselves about you. What makes you feel good? And the better we get at looking after ourselves and building our own resilience, everyone in our lives benefits. It's like it's a knock-on rub-off effect. Rub-off effect? That's new. Right, shall we go over the workshops?
I think we just point to the website for now. They're not starting for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And we need to start wrapping up a bit now. In our longest video yet.
It has, I'm sorry. And I always do this, I ramble. So I'll just put it in the comments. Which one is it?
Just put .org.uk.
.org.uk. So that is our website where you can find our upcoming groups, how to access, training opportunities, a bit of everything really. And you've already mentioned about, we've got bingo tomorrow night, which is very exciting.
Yeah, and we have a new social event starting on Monday. Again, that should be on the website. It's a mindful colouring, and I think there will be waffles and food available as well. But again, just visit the website for that. We'll pop a post on about it as well later on.
Yeah. Has anyone got anything else to say before I finally shut up and leave?
While people are thinking, just want to go. We're going to put a statement on the website and on our social media channels a bit later on about our COVID protocols going forward from Monday. We are relaxing our rules slightly, but in the interest of everybody's safety, we are going to keep our booking system in place for all peer support groups so we can maintain social distancing. Where we can socially distance, you're sat down at your chair, you will be able to remove your mask should you wish to. It's a personal choice once you're sat down. If you wish to keep wearing a mask, that's entirely your choice. But we are going to ask that those that, unless you've got an exemption, you continue to wear your mask while moving around all venues as well. But again, we'll put more details on later on and we'll fully explain. Make you awareness that there is going to be a slight change in operation from Monday.
Okay, Andrew's put, thank you both. You're very welcome. Francis, just send us a message on the page that we're doing the live on now. We'll send you some details for some groups and see if we're in your area. If not, signpost you to somewhere that can be helpful. Lorraine, the new social calendar will be available soon and we'll be restarting our meals out. Sign me up. Okay, we do obviously do a lot of social stuff as well. Lots of fun stuff. Part of resilience is that holistic approach and the social side. So let's make friends and do fun things too. Karen, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Have we got any more? Yeah, they're not coming up there, are they? Boo. Yeah. Glad I had this up. Fantastical. Okay, we're literally an hour. We need to go. I need to shut up. Thank you so much for everyone that joined us. And if you're watching back, try and join us on our live next week because it's amazing to have the questions in and the conversation. That's what makes it interesting. I think you just don't want my opinion on everything.
And again, if you've got any topics you want us to concentrate on or to talk about or focus on, just drop us a message. It stops us having to think of something at the last minute to talk about. But please, we're here for you to try and help you. So just let us know what you want us to look at and frame the conversation.
Yes, please do that. Or you'll just get me rambling about things I care about again, and that gets us an hour into a live. Okay, right, we're going. We're doing it. Have a lovely, lovely day, everyone. We will be going live again next week. I will post in the next couple of days when and what time that's going to be. We know what it's going to be. It's going to be 11 a.m. Friday again, isn't it?
So, yeah.
It's going to be the same again next week, so 11 a.m. Friday. So if you are watching now, watching it back, try and join us for the live. Send in your thoughts and questions. Lisa says thank you. Again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Arrivederci. Bye.